ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। Today we are concluding chapter 8 and we start with a beautiful story of Lord Murugan.
So today I am going to tell about the story of Lord Murugan, and Lord Murugan is also known as Kartikeyan. In northern side, Lord Murugan is known as Kartikeyan, and in south it's known as Murugan. Kartiya, last Kartiya. So Kartikeya also known as a Murugan. He's a Hindu god, and he's also known as god of war because he was born for the war. He is generally described he was the son of Shiva and Parvati and his brother Ganesha. And you know that first the Devas and all Devas gone to the Vishnuji to ask help. But the Vishnu she told only Shiva can help you for this problem because there was a Rakshas who was attacking the Devas. So when Shivaji boons a child which was having 6 heads. That 6 heads, so the child was given to the Ganga, and Ganga made the 6 heads into 6 putra. So the Parvati took only a 1 putra and blessed it and made it powerful for the war. So he was so the Murugan was having temples in Murugan was having temples in Tamil Nadu. Next Tolkappiyam was the second temple. In BC mentioned Kian, the red one. Mentioned the Muran. So identified with Murugan, whose name is mentioned as Muran. The youth 62. Extant literature works are dated between the 3rd century BC and the 5th century CE. Glory fee.
No. Wait, Aniket. Do not read this. This is like copied and pasted. You tell me about Murugan. You told very beautifully about Murugan. He is the putra of Shiva and Parvati.
I'm not telling that which is written. Can I tell by my own what I have studied the story?
Exactly. You tell that way. This is very, you are reading even the 64. That is nothing to do with the Murugan's this. So please tell your understanding. Go ahead.
So Murugan he was also known as, however we told, he was also known as Kartikeya. He was the brother of Ganesha.
Yes.
So there's so many stories depend on his what he have done. In many stories are there, and he was also known as some stories. He was known as Ankaputra. To some stories he was known as some others names. He was known for so many names, and he was having 12 arms, and he was having 5 temples. Even. So there's a story in 1968 to 1998. Says a story of Murugan Murti when the Britishers took the Murti and they floated into the water. So that time the Murugan showed a dream to his Bhakta, Pre-Bhakta, and the Pre-Bhakta took the Murti and kept the Murti in the Mandir of Murugan's Mandir. Thank you, sir.
Hari Om. Very good. When you tell your story in your own words, it sounds very good. So we today start with the last three verses only. We have seen how we have to start with Saguna Rupa, where we see Lord. Now he told about Lord Murugan. Some people like Lord Ganesha. Recently, like 2 days back only, Ganesh festival is over. Ganesha festival was for 10 days. So those who love Ganesha as an idol, they will pray. So we know that we have to start the prayers that way. But in the today's three verses, we will know how to end these rituals, practices, and what we should gain from it. We start with 8.26. Let us listen to Sharo, right?
Yes, sir. शुक्लकृष्णे गपीह्येते
Shukla
शुक्लकृष्णे
कृष्णे
गपीह्येते
गीयते
जगतः शाश्वते मते
Jagat
जगतः शाश्वते मते
एकया यत्यनावृत्तिम्
एकया
एकया
यात्यनावृत्तिम्
यत्यनावृत्तिम् अन्यया वर्तते पुनः
अन्यया वर्तते पुनः.
The literal meaning of this verse is, according to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back, but when he passes in darkness, he returns. So next slide. So we have seen in the previous verses that it tells a time of death of those who will return. They enjoy celestial, they enjoy Swarga and come back. And it tells about when the people who, the time where people who died, like in Uttarayana or Dakshinayana, the people who go in Uttarayana, they never come back. They attain moksha. And the people who go in Dakshinayana, they will come back. So we have two choices. Go to another loka, repeat the cycle of samsara, and attain, or we can attain moksha here and now, in this birth. We don't need to wait to go to another birth. This verse is basically telling that according to the Vedas, there are only two ways of leaving this world. These two ways are explained. So no matter which path you take, the end result is one. You will always get moksha only at the end. There is no other result. Or else you will keep going in the cycle. So instead of taking several births and attaining the Lord, why not do it in this birth, here and now? That is the message of this verse. Hari Om.
Excellent. You've very simplified the verse. So we all have understood now through all this 8th chapter, which talks about death. And the death is, we all know from 2nd chapter, the death of only the body. There is no death to the Atma. Atma never dies. So the whole idea of this chapter is to understand that just like the river flows and finally merges into the sea. So where is the water gone? Water was there in the sea as well as in the river. It just became one. Similarly, children, there is no death for the Atma. It is only the body which you have taken. Like today we are wearing a shirt, tomorrow we change and wear the other shirt. Similarly, Atma just changes the body. But in this verse, very clearly, Sharo mentioned, moksha means you don't have to change this birth and life cycle again and again. We have to make a full stop. And that full stop can be either made by two methods. One is you do a lot of punya karma, or you die in that light time where you go up. It's called Sadyogati. You go to the Brahma Loka, live 1,000 years there. And then again, you have to learn the same things what is been taught by Krishna, there Brahmaji will teach you. But 1,000 years it will take. And finally, you have to understand the meaning that the body only is changing, it dies, not the Atma. Or you come down again because of whatever you did there. And again, in the same birth cycle, you get entangled. Second way, and the easiest way, is here and now. Once we understand that we are part of the Brahman, we are not separate from it, then we have understood, we got the knowledge, and death is just a phenomenon. It is not the end for our life. So this is the meaning, and this we have to understand through these verses. Let us go and see the next verse what Arjuna has been explained about.
Hari Om, everyone.
Hari Om.
Nete Smriti Parth Janan
नैते स्मृति पार्थ जानन्
Partha Janan
Yogi Muhyati Kaschan
योगी मह्यति कृष्णन्
Krishnan
Mat Sarveshu Kaleshu
Tasmat sarveshu
कालेषु
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna.
योगयुक्तो भावार्जुन
Arjuna.
The short In this verse, Lord Krishna urges Arjuna to recognize the difference between these two paths of living life and choose the path of light and become a yogi. A true yogi recognizes himself to be tiny fragment of God. This type of yogi endeavors to enhance his love for God. Such soul is on the path of light. On the other hand, are the ignorant soul who is under the influence of Maya. He recognizes himself as only the body, and this materialistic world around his is everything for him. Such soul is on the path of darkness. Thank you, Hari Om.
So in the last verse, we understood that here and now, by gaining the knowledge that we are part of Brahman, just like when we see ornaments and we know different bangles, different jewelries or ornaments are none other than gold. Okay, there may be so many clay pots, but they are made up of clay. There will be so many furnitures, but they are made up of one item, that is wood. So when God made us, He made through Himself. And then when He is making through His own body, then He is giving His all powers to us. But it is hidden within this so-called external body which we have. So the Atma is called Jivatma here, and God, Brahman, is Paramatma. Finally, when we understand what is stopping us is this body which has mind, the mind which has thoughts, and thoughts may not be always positive. It may be sometimes negative also. It may be harming our identity. So identity. When that happens, we are away from Paramatma. The Jivatma never reaches Paramatma. We have seen the example of Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam. So the Jivatma is away because of the three gunas. The three gunas are related to your body and mind. So this verse says that those who don't understand this, the Aikyam part, Chin Mudra, they are going to darkness. They will die, and such death will give them another new body, and they will again go from the cycle to cycle and never reach the end. So with this, we come to the last verse today, and the complete chapter is over after this. Let us see what is given in the last verse. Swastik.
Thank you, sir. Now, first, I'd request everyone to chant after me. Vedeshu yagyeshu tapasu chaiva
Vedeshu yagyeshu tapasu chaiva
चैव
दानेषु यत् पुण्यफलं प्रदिष्टम्
दानेषु यत्
अन्येषु
पुण्यफलं
यत्पुण्यफलं
प्रदिष्टम्
प्रदिष्टम्
अत्येति तत्सर्वम् इदं विदित्वा
अत्येति तत्सर्वमिदं
तत्सर्वमिदं
विदित्वा
विदित्वा
योगी परं स्थानमुपैति चाद्यम्
योगी
योगी
परं
परं
स्थानमुपैति चाद्यम्.
स्थानमुपैत्याद्यम्.
Thank you, everyone. Now, the literal meaning of this verse goes, now, the yogis who know this secret gain merit far beyond the fruits of Vedic rituals, the study of Vedas, performances of sacrifices, austerities, and charities. Such yogis reach the supreme abode. Now, in this verse, what is Krishna talking about here? What is this secret that we must know? Something that has more power than the Vedas, more power than tapasya, more power than dhanam. This secret which he talks about, this is simply the worship of God. And this worship of God is what makes up this, what we have heard of, the Uttarayanam. The Uttarayanam, the day, the road of light. It is emblazoned with the marks of God. Yet, if you have no belief in God, you take this Maya, this world, to be everything that you know, then you will be going in nothing but rebirth. You will not be able to move forward. And if it grows bad enough, you can even be sent towards the lower lokas, rasatala, talatala, patala. These are the strengths of the worship of God. The simple thing, which we even had an entire chapter on, Dhyana Yoga, Atma Samyama Yoga, as per its name. So this chapter concludes with the fact that if you follow Krishna's instructions throughout this entire chapter, this is the one and only way to reach God, or to reach what people would call Vishnu's abode. With this verse, I will be concluding this chapter, Akshara Brahma Yoga, the indestructible creator's chapter. Now I will be stating the completion verse. Please chant after me. Om Tat Saditi
Om Tat Saditi
ॐ तत्सत्
Srimad
Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su
Srimad Bhagavad
श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु
Gitasu
Upanishatsu
Upanishatsu
Brahma Vidyayam
Brahma
ब्रह्मविद्यायां
Vidyayam
Yoga Shastre
Yoga
योगशास्त्रे
Shastre
Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade
Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade
श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे
Nakshara Brahma Yogo Nama
Akshara Brahma Yogo
ब्रह्मयोगो
Nama
नाम
Ashtamodhyayah.
Ashtamo Adhyayah.
And with this verse, we have successfully completed the 8th chapter.
Very
Thank you all
nice.
for listening to me.
Very
And Hari
nice.
Om to Sir as well.
Very
Hari
nice,
Om.
Swastik. Very nicely chanted, very nicely explained also. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti